Hi, Lloyd Rieber here to demonstrate an early prototype of a reference letter writing app I've built. To learn more about this app and how it was programmed, please visit my blog, learninglivecode.blogspot.com. Now, before I show you how this prototype works, let me just say that I and my colleagues at the University of Georgia take the task of writing reference letters very seriously. In fact, I consider it more important than giving out grades. I always tell my students that they should focus much more on what potentially a faculty member would write in a reference letter than the grade that they might get in a particular course. However, the task of writing a reference letter can be quite daunting. I know some faculty who have to write dozens of letters every semester, such as for supporting an undergraduate student's application to graduate school. All letters require much tender loving care, but most letters also follow a certain format or basic structure. So I thought it might be useful to think about how to make an app that would help someone write at least a simple first draft. Then the letter could be customized as needed for the particular student. Okay, let me show you how this prototype works. All right, well, let's begin. And we go to the first page that asks for some very basic information. So the name of the student, in this case, is going to be George Bailey. And obviously, this is going to be Mr., meaning he is a male. And you can see here I have a rating scale over here, and I'll choose very good. As it turns out, I haven't quite programmed the app to take advantage of this rating scale, but I'm going to talk more about why I have that there. Okay, now let's take a look at what I need to type in for the addressee. Who is the letter actually going to? Well, in this hypothetical example, it's going to go to a professor at Harvard University. And that professor's name is Ivana Haru. And here is the address that I am going to paste in here. So it is going to the College of Knowledge at Harvard University. Okay, the next step is to generate the letter. And you can see I have two buttons down here. This nice big blue button says Auto Generate Letter, and I have not yet programmed in this feature. The idea would be that based on the rating that I give the student, I could hit that button and a letter would automatically be generated and I'd be done. Well, I need to, of course, begin to customize it, but that's an interesting idea, isn't it? But that doesn't work yet. So let's go to Construct Letter. So here's what we have. We have a letter template that has 6 paragraphs in it. And as you can see, this letter template has lots of text blocks in it. And all of these text blocks are editable. I can go in there and make changes as I wish. Now, some of these text blocks are somewhat unique in that they are going to be menu choices for the letter writer to choose one of these particular options for the particular student. Okay, let's see how it works. So I could, for example, come up here and change this to the following. I am writing this letter to support the application of. Now you can see it says student's name. Well, it's going to pull that information from the basic information on the previous page. He or she was a student of mine in the course. You can see what I've written there. The student's name was, well, now I need to make some choices. Here I have a choice of an outstanding, an excellent, or a good, and then of course it would continue on where it's going to describe that student. Now I could come in here and choose to edit this dynamic field, and maybe I can put in a remarkable, and it would add that to the list. So I'm looking at what I have here, and okay, I'm going to say remarkable. And as I go through, I am happy to support his or her application for this position. So this student was a capable student, or a student I remember well. Actually, George was an exemplary student, and I would say that he was a leader who was contributing creative ideas about whatever topic was being discussed. He was also very willing to listen to other people's points of view. So in conclusion, I highly recommend George. to you, Dr. Hairu, and I think he is a very good candidate for this position. And as you can see, I ended with a typical kind of ending here, which again, I could edit that if I wanted to. So now I'm going to choose to click Generate Letter. And what do you know? Here we have a full letter with George's name, and he was a student of mine, and so forth. Wow, that's great. So now I'm going to take that and copy it to the clipboard so that I can then paste it into Word. So let me now switch over to Word, and I have a document ready to go, and I'm just going to go and paste that in, and I'll choose the destination formatting here. So yeah, there you go. The date's a little bit off. Just need to take out the word Sunday, but there you see a letter, at least a first draft of a letter that's been generated. So now I can go in and add lots of personal information about George that will customize this letter for this particular position. And let me switch back now to the app itself, and let me go to the previous page there so you again can take a look here at the template here for this particular letter. Now, as I end this video demonstration of this app prototype, I must confess that I believe I took the wrong design approach to building it. There are obviously a lot of problems with the approach I did take, the most obvious being that the basic structure of the letter is locked. The only way to change this format is to go back into LiveCode and reprogram it. But creating this prototype has given me some insights into other design approaches to overcome this and other limitations of this app. So perhaps I'll explore one of those design approaches later. Well, that's it for now. Be sure to check my blog, learninglivecode.blogspot.com, later for updates to this and other LiveCode projects.